Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. This is IMAX Sports with North Football video, and today I am talking about why the Kansas City Chiefs will win Super Bowl 57. This is probably the 10th or 11th video in the series where I'm going over all the teams I think are major contenders to win the Super Bowl this year and some of the reasons why they are very strong teams. First off, I want to start off with their new additions at wide receiver. Tyreek Hill is no longer on the Kansas City Chiefs, which is a big blow for them. So is the loss of Tyrann Mathieu. One of those is being replaced with Juju Smith-Schuster and Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Now, obviously, Tyreek Hill is a better teammate to have than the combination of Juju and Marquez, but both of these receivers are very talented players. Both of them have a lot of talent. Both of them are able to catch deep balls, they're able to catch slants. Juju's had his TikTok problems, and Valdes-Scantling hasn't had as many targets as he could have had in his career because of Davante Adams, but they're both extremely talented players, and they've both worked with Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Marquez Valdes-Scantling's played his entire career with Aaron Rodgers, and Juju Smith-Schuster's played his entire career with Ben Roethlisberger. They're going to team with another Hall of Fame starting quarterback with Patrick Mahomes, and I think that the combination of these three players, along with Mecole Hardman, who's been on the Chiefs for the past couple of seasons, could be extremely deadly. And the Chiefs have had revolving wide receiver groups over the past couple of years. Travis Kelce has been the one consistent player on Kansas City who's been there every year, along with Tyreek Hill. Travis Kelce obviously is still there. I think Travis will stay for a very long time. I think he likes playing with Kansas City. I think he likes playing with Mahomes, even if other places do give him good offers as far as money is concerned. But Juju and Marquez Valdes-Scantling definitely amazing wide receivers to try and fill that hole with Tyreek Hill. The other offensive player that I wanted to make a big note about, not named Patrick Mahomes, is Jerick McKinnon. Jerick McKinnon started his career with the Minnesota Vikings in 2014 or 2015. He had a very strong couple of seasons as a starter. In 2014 and 15, he wasn't a starter. He was a backup in the Minnesota behind, I believe, Adrian Peterson before he retired. 2016 and 2017, Jerick McKinnon became the starter, and he was very solid. He never had 1,000 yards rushing, but he had 1,000 scrimmage yards, and he had very strong yards per carry averages. He had very strong yards per reception averages, and he was a very versatile player. He got a lot of catches out of the backfield, and he was a great addition to the Vikings offense. 2022 comes around. He didn't play in the NFL from 2017 to 2020 because of injuries. He got injured in 2018, which ended his career with the Vikings because Dalvin Cook took over. 2019, he was gone for most of the year. 2020 he came back and he was still injured for a lot of the year. 2020 he was still out. 2022 he was back injured for the whole year. Last year he was injured most of the year, and then he came up in the playoffs. In the playoffs, he had 34 carries for 150 yards, 4.5 yards per carry, which is very strong. He had 12 yards per reception on 14 receptions in the playoffs. And he was a big help to the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs last season, getting 315 scrimmage yards and a touchdown in those 3 games. I don't think he'll average 100 scrimmage yards a game, but if he can even give them 50 to 60 yards a game, scrimmage yards, that's a strong running back. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the starter, but I think that Jerick McKinnon is going to get the starting job from him. I think he's a more talented player, and I think that he's phenomenal to watch. On defense, we have obviously Chris Jones and Frank Clark, and we have the addition of Carlos Dunlap from the Seattle Seahawks, formerly on the Bengals. This defensive core is a very strong defensive core. The Chiefs were a top 10 defense last year. I think that defense is going to be not as prominent over the next couple of over this season or the next few seasons in the AFC West, because it's just going to be a blowout every game. And the one concern with the Chiefs defense is the loss of Tyrann Mathieu, because you don't have that veteran safety anymore. But Carlos Dunlap's a veteran player to add to this team, and there's a lot of young secondary players. The Chiefs don't have a lot of experience in their secondary, but a lot of these players are young. They have a lot to learn, and I think that the defense it might not be a top 10 defense like it was last year because their division is so good, but I think that their defense will be able to hold its own against the Raiders' offense, against the Chiefs, the Chargers' offense. I think that the Broncos' offense could give them some difficulties, but you have rookies like Justin Reed, who I think he ran a 4.44, which is pretty solid. And then they have a lot of other secondary players who are fast, who are young, who are talented. And then they just need the leadership of these three up front in order to bring it all together. Last but certainly not least, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is obviously arguably the best player in the league. He's most likely going to be a Hall of Famer by the end of his career. And I just want to talk a little bit about his career so far and some of the reasons why he gives the Chiefs, no matter who he's throwing to, no matter how their defense plays, he's going to give them a chance to win. He's had a meteoric start to his career. He didn't play much in 2017. He only started one game. He threw for 284 yards and a pick. But since then, he has made 4 Pro Bowls and an All-Pro in his 4 seasons, winning an NFL MVP in 2018. He has a 105.8 pass rating for his career, and he's 50-13 as a starter. That also includes the fact that he went 11-3 in 2019 when his defense was one of the worst in the league. The defense has been one of the lowest in yards in the league almost every year of his career. He went 14-1 in 2020. He's been to the playoffs every year, and he's been to the AFC Championship game almost every year that he's played as a starter. With these new additions of Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and Jerick McKinnon, they also all have a lot of playoff experience, and the Chiefs' defensive players also have a lot of playoff experience as well. Even the young players who've only been there for 2 or 3 years, they've been to the playoffs. They've been to these big games. They've been to the Super Bowl. They know what it's like to play in the Super Bowl, to play in the playoffs. Frank Clark, Carlos Dunlap, all these players, they've been to Super Bowls. They know exactly Carlos Dunlap was part of the Legion of Boom. And he was not. He was on the Bengals at the time. He's on Seattle recently. But because of Patrick Mahomes' ability to bring these players to the playoffs year after year after year, they've gained so much experience. They've gained so much recognition by other teams in the league. And I think that the experience that the Chiefs have in the playoffs and in big-time situations, and the way that Mahomes is able to get the job done against really strong opponents, is going to help them get out of the AFC West. I think that Russell Wilson also has this intangible quality. Last year was not his strongest year, but that was the first year of his career he's had a losing record. I think that both Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes will be able to get out of the AFC West and make the playoffs, and I think that they'll be able to take advantage of Justin Herbert and Derek Carr. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.